Welcome to another podcast here on Driving TV. So today's podcast is for all those aspiring commercial drivers and CDL enthusiasts. In this podcast, I am bringing you the latest and greatest comprehensive CDL General Knowledge Study Guide for the year of 2023 and 2024. Yep, it's new and updated. Whether you're just starting your journey or looking to refresh your knowledge, I've got you covered. It's a very exciting year, and we're here to ensure that you are well prepared. This podcast features a set of 100 questions and answers that align with the most up-to-date CDL requirements and regulations for 2023 and 2024. You could be rest assured that we've covered everything that you need to know about general CDL knowledge: vehicle operations inspection, hazardous materials, cargo management, weight distribution, and hazard awareness. But wait, there is more. We understand that learning goes beyond just this audio. So I will invite you to explore Driving TV channel, where you'll find an entire library of study guides, practical tips, and expert advice to complement your CDL preparation. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. So whether you're studying for your Class A, Class B, or Class C CDL, this podcast is your one-stop destination to brush up on your knowledge and ultimately pass your CDL exam with flying colors this year. So fasten your seatbelts and grab your notepads, and let's hit the road to success together. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get started on your CDL knowledge journey for 2023-2024. Section 1, General CDL Knowledge. What is the purpose of a commercial driver's license? So CDL. A CDL is required to operate commercial vehicles to ensure drivers have the necessary skills and knowledge. How often should you check your mirrors while driving a commercial vehicle? Approximately every 8 to 10 seconds. What is the minimum age requirement for obtaining a CDL in most states? 18 years old for intrastate, 21 years old for interstate. What does the acronym CDL stand for? I think everybody should know this. Commercial Driver's License. Name 3 classes of a CDL license: Class A, Class B, and Class C. What is the no zone in relation to commercial vehicles? It refers to blind spots around a commercial vehicle where other drivers are hard to see. What is the purpose of a CDL skills test? To evaluate a driver's ability to safely operate a commercial vehicle. What is the maximum allowable blood alcohol concentration, also known as the BAC, for commercial drivers in most states? 0.04%. What is the minimum tire tread depth requirement for commercial vehicle tires? It would be 4.32 inches on the front tires and 2.32 inches on the other tires. When should you use your hazard flasher when driving or while driving? In emergencies or when the vehicle presents a hazard. What is the purpose of the hours of service regulations for commercial drivers? To limit the number of hours a driver can operate a commercial vehicle to prevent fatigue. So what type of vehicles require CDL? Commercial motor vehicles, CMV, such as large trucks and buses. What is a hazard materials endorsement on a CDL? It allows a driver to transport hazard materials. explain the blackout period in the hours of service regulations. So it's a period during which a driver cannot drive after reaching the maximum allowed hours. What should you do if your vehicle starts to skid while driving on a slippery surface? Steer in the direction you want to go and avoid overcorrecting. What is the gross combination weight rating, so GCWR, of a vehicle? That would be the maximum combined weight of the vehicle and trailer. When should you use your low beam headlights? In adverse weather conditions, when visibility is reduced, and when following another vehicle. What is the purpose of the anti-lock braking system, the ABS, in commercial vehicles? To prevent wheel lockup and maintain steering control during hard braking. What is the maximum speed limit for commercial vehicles on most highways? Typically 65 to 70 miles per hour, but it can vary by state. So what is the minimum required tread depth for steering axle tires on a commercial vehicle? 432 inches. What is a pre-trip inspection and why is it important? Is a thorough check of the vehicle's components before a trip to ensure it's safe to operate. What does the term GVWR stand for? And guys, this question is repeated. There's a lot of questions here that are repeated, but they're worded differently, and this is just to help you guys and see if you caught on, right? So let me repeat the question again. What does the term GVWR stand for? Gross vehicle weight rating. Do not forget this. Which class of CDL is required for operating a tractor-trailer combination? Class A CDL. What is the purpose of the pre-trip inspection? To ensure the vehicle is safe to operate. What is the maximum allowable width for a commercial vehicle without special permits? 102 inches, 8 feet and 6 inches. What is a logbook or driver's log in the context of commercial driving? It's a record of a driver's activities, including driving hours, rest breaks, and duty status. How often should a commercial driver inspect their cargo during a trip? At the beginning of the trip, within the first 50 miles, and at every break or stop. What is the purpose of a tandem axle? Let me repeat the question. What is the purpose of a tandem axle on a commercial vehicle? It helps distribute weight and improve stability. I hope I pronounced that right, by the way. When should you use tire chains on your commercial vehicle? When driving in snow or icy conditions. What is the maximum weight allowed on a single axle for most commercial vehicles? It varies by state, but is typically around 20,000 pounds. Going on to section 2, which is vehicle operations. What is a Jake brake and when is it used? A Jake brake is an engine compression release brake used to slow down a vehicle on a downhill grades. When should you downshift while driving a commercial vehicle? When descending a steep grade to maintain control and reduce speed. What is the purpose of the emergency air brake system in a commercial vehicle? To bring the vehicle to a stop in case of brake failure. What is the stopping distance formula for commercial vehicles and why is it important? It estimates the distance needed to bring the vehicle to a complete stop, helping drivers maintain a safe following distance. What is bobtailing in the context of commercial driving? Operating a tractor without a trailer attached. What is a double clutching? And when is it typically used in commercial driving? It's a shifting technique used to match transmission and engine speeds when shifting gears, often used in older vehicles. What is a split speed transmission in a commercial vehicle? It's a manual transmission that allows for different gear ratios for high and low speeds. Why is it important to secure cargo properly in a commercial vehicle? To prevent load shifts and maintain vehicle stability. Now, when should you use your turn signals when driving a commercial vehicle? Before making a lane change, turning, or merging onto a highway. What is a tail swing? And why is it important to be aware of it when driving a commercial vehicle? It's the rear part of the vehicle swinging wider from the front during turns, which can pose a risk or threat to nearby objects and vehicles. Now, what is the purpose of a kingpin on a semi-trailer? It connects the trailer to the fifth wheel on the tractor. How should you adjust your driving in windy conditions while operating a commercial vehicle? Reduce speed and maintain a firm grip on the steering wheel to maintain control. When is it appropriate to use engine compression release brakes, also known as an engine retardators, on downhill grades to assist with braking and reduce brake wear? What is the push-pull steering method and when is it commonly used? It's a steering technique where the driver pushes the wheel up in one hand and pulls it down with the other, and it's often used in tight maneuvers. Now, what is tire balancing and why is it important for commercial vehicles? It involves adding weights to a tire to ensure even weight distribution, which improves tire performance and extends tire life. What are the overhead clearance signs and why should commercial drivers pay attention to them? They indicate the height of overpasses and bridges. Ignoring them can lead to accidents and damage to the vehicle. What is off-tracking and how does it affect the maneuvering of commercial vehicles? It's the tendency for the rear wheels of a vehicle to follow a different path than the front wheels during turns requiring wider turning radiuses. So, how does a deceleration lane differ from a turning lane and when are they used? A deceleration lane allows vehicles to slow down and exit a highway, while a turning lane, on the other hand, is used for turning onto another road. What is the purpose of a throttle inner lock in a commercial vehicle? It prevents the accelerator pedal from being pressed while the engine is idling or at low speeds. What is the purpose of the 4-second rule for following distance and how is it applied? It helps drivers maintain a safe following distance by measuring the time it takes to reach a point behind the vehicle in front. For commercial vehicles, it should be increased to 6 seconds. We are now going to pass to section 3, which is vehicle inspection. You guys ready? So the first question would be, what is a pre-trip inspection and why is it important? A pre-trip inspection is a thorough check of the vehicle's components before a trip to ensure it's safe to operate. Now guys, before I continue to the next question, I want you guys to keep in mind that there's going to be a couple questions that it's repeated. They're repeated, but they're worded differently, and this is just to help you guys more or less be familiar with these questions and be able to answer them and learn them. Okay, next question. So, what are some key items that should be inspected during a pre-trip inspection? Tires, brakes, lights, steering, suspension, mirrors, and the exhaust system. What should you do if you discover a defect during a pre-trip inspection? Report it to your supervisor or maintain personal and have it repaired before driving. How often should a driver perform a pre-trip inspection? Before each trip. What is a post-trip inspection and why is it important? A post-trip inspection is a check of the vehicle's components after a trip to identify any issues that may have risen during the journey. What are some key items that should be inspected during a post-trip inspection? Remember, tires, brakes, lights, steering, mirrors, suspensions, and the exhaust system. So why is it essential to check the conditions of your tires during both pre-trip and post-trip inspections? Let me repeat the question. Why is it essential to check the condition of your tires during both pre-trip and post-trip inspections? The tires are critical for vehicle safety and stability. Damaged or improperly inflated tires can lead to accidents. How can you check the condition of your vehicle's brakes during a pre-trip inspection? Test the brakes for responsiveness. Listen for unusual noises and inspect for visible damage. Why is it important to inspect the exhaust system during a pre-trip inspection? A damaged exhaust system can release harmful gases into the cab and pose safety hazards. What should you do if you find a leak during a pre-trip inspection? Determine the source and severity of the leak, report it, and have it repaired if necessary. What is the purpose of inspecting the suspension system during a pre-trip inspection? To ensure the vehicle's stability and ride comfort. Why is it crucial to check the condition of mirrors during a pre-trip inspection? Mirrors are essential for maintaining visibility and safety while driving. What is the role of a reflective vest or clothing during a vehicle inspection? It enhances visibility and safety during inspections conducted on the roadside. What are some essential tools or equipment that a driver should carry for vehicle inspections? Tools for checking the tire pressure, tread depth gauge. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that word correctly. If I'm not, I apologize. Flashlight, reflective triangles, and first aid kits. What should you do if you encounter an issue during a post-trip inspection? So, immediately report it to your supervisor or have it repaired before the next trip. So now we are going to section 4, hazardous materials. And here's question 1. What is a hazardous material in the context of commercial transportation? It refers to substances that pose risk to health, safety, and the environment during transportation. What is a hazardous material endorsement on a CDL? It's a specific certification that allows a driver to transport hazardous material. How should hazardous materials be labeled for transport? They should be labeled with appropriate hazard labels, placards, and shipping papers. What is the emergency response guidebook? And why is it important for drivers transporting hazardous material? So it is a guidebook basically that provides information on how to respond to emergencies involving hazardous materials. Drivers should always carry it for reference. How should you identify? So how do you identify hazardous materials in a shipment? Check the shipping papers, placards, labels, and the package markings. What is a placard? And when is it required for hazardous materials transportation? A placard is a warning sign displayed on a vehicle carrying hazardous materials. It's required when specific quantities or types of hazardous materials are transported. What is the 1001? In other words, 1001, the 1001 exemption for hazardous materials transportation. It refers to the exemption for small quantities of hazardous materials that do not require placards. Let me go over this question again and its answer in case that you guys didn't understand. What is the 1001 exemption for hazardous materials transportation? It refers to the exemption for small quantities of hazardous materials that do not require placards. What should you do if you discover a hazardous materials leak or spill during transport? Follow the appropriate emergency procedures outlined in the Emergency Response Guidebook and contact the appropriate authorities. How often should you inspect the seal on a hazardous materials shipment before departure and during each stop? What is a shipping paper in the context of hazardous materials transportation? It's a document that provides information about the type, quantity, and hazards of the materials that are being transported. Section 5. Cargo and weight. So, the first question is, why is it important to secure cargo properly in a commercial vehicle? To prevent load shifts, maintain vehicle stability, and to ensure safety on the road. What are some common methods for securing cargo in a commercial vehicle? Straps, chains, binders, blocking, and bracing. What is the purpose of a load binder in a cargo securement? To tighten and secure chains around the cargo. How should you distribute weight in a commercial vehicle for optimal stability? Keep more weight towards the front of the vehicle and evenly distribute it side to side. What is a tandem axle on a commercial vehicle and how does it affect weight distribution? It's a set of two axles close together. Adjusting the position of the axles can change weight distribution. What is the purpose of a kingpin on a semi-trailer? It connects the trailer to the fifth wheel on the tractor. Why is it important to avoid overloading a commercial vehicle? Overloading can lead to reduced vehicle stability, increased braking distance, and equipment damage. How can you determine the gross weight of a vehicle and its cargo? By weighing the load vehicle on a certified scale. What is a center of gravity in relation to the cargo and why is it important? It's the point where the weight of the cargo is balanced. A low center of gravity improves vehicle stability. How often should you check the condition of your cargo during a trip? At the beginning of the trip, within the first 50 miles, and at every break or stop. Session 6. Hazard awareness. So, what is a blind spot and why should you be aware of it when driving a commercial vehicle? Good question. So, here we go with the answer. A blind spot is an area around the vehicle not visible in the mirrors. Being aware of them helps prevent accidents. What is the no zone in relation to commercial vehicles? It refers to the areas around the commercial vehicle where other drivers are hard to see. How should you handle tailgaters while driving a commercial vehicle? Increase the following distance and avoid abrupt stops. What is tail swing and why is it important to be aware of it when driving a commercial vehicle? It's the rear part of the vehicle, swinging wider than the front during turns, which can pose a risk to nearby objects and vehicles. What is a construction zone and how should you approach it when driving a commercial vehicle? It's an area where road work is taking place. Approach with caution, obey posted speed limits, and be aware of workers and shipment equipment. Why is it important to watch for wildlife crossings or animal warning signs while you're driving in certain areas to reduce the risk of collisions with animals crossing the road? How should you adjust your driving in windy conditions while operating a commercial vehicle? Reduce the speed and maintain a firm grip on the steering wheel to maintain control. What is off-tracking and how does it affect the maneuvering of commercial vehicles? Is the tendency for the rear wheels of a vehicle to follow a different path than the front wheels, drawing turns requiring wider turning radiuses? How can you minimize the risk of the tire blowouts while driving a commercial vehicle? Let me repeat the question. How can you minimize the risk of tire blowouts while driving a commercial vehicle? Properly maintain tires, check tire pressure regularly, and avoid hitting potholes or curbs. What is a black ice and why is it dangerous for commercial drivers? Black ice is a thin, nearly invisible layer of ice on the road. It's dangerous because it reduces traction. Why should you be cautious when driving in heavy rain or fog while operating a commercial vehicle? Reduced visibility and road conditions can make driving hazardous. What should you do if your vehicle starts to skid while driving on a slippery surface? Steer in the direction you want to go and avoid overcorrecting. What is the purpose of grade or hill warning signs and how should you approach the steep grades? These signs warn of upcoming steep grades, approaching them with caution, downshift as needed, and control your speed. What are the emergency escape ramps and how should you use them? They're designated ramps for runway vehicles to use them safely, slow down, and stop if the brakes fail. How can you maintain proper distance from vehicles in front of you to reduce the risk of a rear-end collision? Use the 3-second rule to maintain a safe following distance based on the vehicle in front of you and increase it to 6 seconds for commercial vehicles. So let me again repeat this question and this answer in case there was a misunderstanding. How can you maintain proper distance from vehicles in front of you to reduce the risk of rear-end collision? So use the 3-second rule to maintain safe following distance based on the vehicle in front of you and increase it to 6 seconds for commercial vehicles. Well guys, thank you so much for joining us on this comprehensive journey through our CDL 100 questions and answers study guide. We hope that you have found it not only informative, but also incredibly useful in your preparation for the CDL exam. But remember, your learning journey doesn't end here. We're committed to helping you succeed, so stay tuned for upcoming CDL study guide with multiple choice questions and answers to further enhance your knowledge and test your skills. To ensure that you don't miss out on any of our valuable content, please hit that subscribe button right now. By doing so, you'll be the first to know when our new study guide, driving tutorials, and other informative videos do drop. Do not forget to ring that notification bell. This way you won't miss out on any of our upcoming videos, and you'll stay ahead of the curve in your CDL preparation, your driving preparation for the DMV, all of that. And for all of those who have questions and seek additional insights and to keep up with everything like our posts, everything, feel free to follow us on Instagram. I'll be answering questions and more in touch with all of you guys. So I truly hope that you guys, again, found this helpful. Thank you so much for choosing us as your trusted CDL resource. And we look forward to helping you achieve greatness in your commercial driving career and as well as your driving in general. Thank you so much. See you on the next one.